Florida police charged a child and let her attacker walk free. Trigger warning. This case made me so angry, so you better prepare yourself. So this is Taylor. When she was little, CPS removed her from her parents' home due to neglect and domestic violence, and they placed her into foster care where she would stay for over a year and a half. But eventually, Taylor was adopted by her great-uncle Henry and his wife, and that was where she lived for the next few years. But soon after moving in, her uncle began R-wording her, and this went on for some time until Taylor was about 13, and she told someone at church, and that was when an investigation began. So Taylor was interviewed by a Florida CPS worker, and she told her the same story. She said that her Uncle Henry would take her on his long car rides, stop by a store and buy condoms, pull over off the shoulder of the road, force her to get into the front seat, and then R-word her. Taylor said she didn't come forward sooner because she was scared that she would be put back into foster care, and it was so traumatic for her that she didn't want to go back there. She was afraid. So Taylor was brought down to the sheriff's office where she was interviewed by a detective named Melissa Turnage. And right out of the gate, Melissa accused Taylor of lying. Melissa said, if you're mad because your phone got taken away, let's just say that now and be done with it. Then this bitch had the nerve to say, do you want to go live back in foster care? Because more than likely if he's arrested, they're not going to let you stay there. Then she said, but if it's not the truth, you're fixing to hurt a lot of people. And in a shaky voice, 13-year-old Taylor responded, everything I told you earlier is not a lie. Detective Turnage treated 13-year-old Taylor like a criminal and automatically assumed she was lying. Get this, instead of going and charging Henry for R-wording his 13-year-old adoptive daughter, they charged Taylor for lying to the police. Yeah, Melissa Turnage charged a child victim instead of her attacker, a predator that Melissa knew Taylor was still living with because she had nowhere else to go. Melissa claimed she did an investigation and she didn't see Henry going into any of these stores that Taylor claimed they had stopped by, and she also could not pinpoint the location in which Taylor said the assaults happened. And it makes me wonder, did she even investigate Henry? I highly doubt it. So instead of Henry going to jail, it was Taylor who was facing a judge. When Taylor went to court, she was with Henry's wife, her adoptive mother, and her mother told her to just plead guilty and get this over with already. The Polk County Sheriff's Office made Henry out to be the victim, but wait, it gets even worse. They forced Taylor to write 2 apology letters, one to her abuser and one to a detective because she lied to everyone. Oh my goddamn, I am so mad. This girl was surrounded by rape apologists and predator sympathizers. So Taylor, who still lived with Henry and his wife, had to go to court and go right back home with these people, and she knew what was coming next. You know where this is going. You know Henry wasn't just gonna stop. Of course he was gonna come back and R-word her again, but this time she was ready. He really thought he was untouchable, but she burned his ass. Taylor grabbed her phone and she started taking pictures of everything that was going on before, during, and after the assault. Taylor took pictures of the inside of Henry's truck while they were on a road trip. You know, the road trip that the police said never happened? Yeah, they were on one of those. She also took pictures of the condoms he bought from the store that Melissa Turnage claimed he never went to. And then that poor child took pictures of her own assault. So Taylor again reported it, except this time she had evidence, so she was brought back in front of a DSS worker to tell her story again. And this will break your heart, but Taylor told the CPS worker everything that they didn't find evidence for last time, I kind of tried to make sure it was there this time, just so that my story would get believed. It's a damn shame that a child had to collect her own evidence to get Polk County Sheriff's Office to do something. So Henry was again brought back in for another police interview where he again denied all allegations against him. He told the police, Taylor's lying, I never took her anywhere, I never touched her, I did not essay her. The officer asked him, did you touch her in any way? Henry said, no, absolutely not, I have never touched her. The detective showed Henry the pictures of the assault and asked Henry, who is that man in that picture? And Henry said, that's me. Henry identified himself in the evidence. Henry was later sentenced to 17 years in a Florida state prison, lifetime probation, and he had to register as a SMEGS offender. All the charges against Taylor were overturned and everything was dropped. Now I'm sorry, but I'm about to piss you off even more. Because Sheriff Grady Judd, Detective Melissa Turnage, and the judge never apologized to Taylor, they didn't even send her an apology letter. And I find it funny since they forced her to write them an apology letter along with her attacker. Grady Judd is all about, oh, he fights predators and he's going to stand up against child exploitation when it's his own sheriff's office treating children like criminals and letting predators walk free. And why wasn't Detective Melissa Turnage reassigned to another department? Because she has no damn business working with children or interviewing child victims. And Taylor's case is not the only one. There are so many other cases of children being charged with lying to the police while their attacker walks free. One victim was as young as 11 years old when she was charged. Polk County Sheriff's Office needs to be investigated because these people don't know how to handle these cases. They're punishing children for coming forward.